Hello, dear students. So, we have been studying about the taxonomic categories in the first chapter. और टैक्सोनॉमिक कैटेगरीज में हमने देखा कि किस तरह से डिफरेंट डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स जो है बनाए गए हैं बेस्ड ऑन वेरियस करेक्टरिस्टिक्स विच आर सिमिलर और विच आर डिसिमिलर एज कम्पेयर टू द अदर स्पीशीज़ अदर मेंबर्स। ओके, तो उसी तरह से जो स्पीशीज़ को आप कंपेयर करते हो, ऑर्गेनिजम्स को कंपेयर करते हो, फिर उनको आप कुछ ग्रुप्स में उनको डिवाइड करते हो सिमिलरिटी और डिससिमिलरिटी के बेसिस पे। और इस तरह से जो सेम काइंड ऑफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं, सेम टाइप ऑफ दी ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं, उनको आप जो लोवेस्ट कैटेगरी ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन है स्पीशीज़ आप उसमें रखते हो। तो किसी भी एक स्पीशीज़ के जो मेंबर्स हैं उनके अंदर सबसे ज़्यादा सिमिलरिटीज़ होती हैं, राइट। उसके बाद ग्रुप ऑफ रिलेटेड स्पीशीज़ आप लेते हो, बहुत सारी स्पीशीज़ जो ऐसी हैं जो एक दूसरे से बहुत क्लोजली रिलेटेड हैं। कुछ स्पीशीज़ हैं जो उतना क्लोजली रिलेटेड नहीं हैं। तो जो बहुत क्लोजली रिलेटेड स्पीशीज़ हैं एक दूसरे से, इफ़ दे आर शेयरिंग several characteristics and several features, then they also can be put together into a next level of the category, which is called genus. So in this way we had seen that from the lowest category, lowest hierarchy of the taxonomy, which is species, we can go up the ladder, and uh, then we categorize the organisms into genus, family, order, and class, phylum, and kingdom. So we in the last lecture had discussed up to the taxon of order. So we had seen that order actually includes a group of related families, right? And there was one peculiar thing for the order, that as compared to the previous things like species, genus, or family, where more focus and more emphasis was given on the similarities between the characteristics, similarities between different features of the organisms. But here, when deciding the order of the certain group of organisms for a certain order, then you have certain other order which has certain other different group of the organisms. So here you not only consider the similarities, but in addition to this, the aggregates of the characters. That means जो करेक्टर्स हैं, आप बहुत सारे करेक्टर्स को एक साथ लेकर के उनको वेटेज दे करके उसकी बेसिस पे डिसाइड करते हो कि उनका ऑर्डर सेम होगा या डिफरेंट होगा उनका ऑर्डर, ठीक है। तो इस तरह से ऑर्डर एक नेक्स्ट लेवल ऑफ द क्लासिफिकेशन है। हमने ये भी देखा था कि दो फैमिलीज जैसे कि कॉन्वोल्वुलेसी और सोलरनेसी। कॉन्वोल्वुलेसी का हमने एग्जांपल ऑलरेडी देखा था, और कि स्वीट पोटैटो है, सोलरनेसी का मेंबर है पोटैटो। ये दोनों डिफरेंट डिफरेंट फैमिलीज़ के मेंबर्स हैं, एंड दे हैव बीन पुट टुगेदर इन द ऑर्डर ऑफ पोलीमोनियल्स, राइट। सिमिलरली जो कैट्स हैं, डोमेस्टिक कैट्स हैं या फिर बिग कैट्स हैं, उनको फेलिडी में रखा गया है, ऑर्डर फेलिडी में, और डॉग्स को रखा गया है ऑर्डर कैंसिडी, फैमिली कैंसिडी में। तो फैमिली फेलिडी एंड फैमिली कैंसिडी, दे बोथ आर रिलेटेड टू ईच अदर एंड दे आर ग्रुप्ड इनटू सिंगल ऑर्डर ऑफ द ऑर्डर कॉर्निवोरा। ओके, तो ये हमने डिस्कस किया था ऑलरेडी। अब हम आते हैं नेक्स्ट लेवल, नेक्स्ट हायरार्चिकल कैटेगरी पे, जो कि क्लास है। तो अगेन as we have been discussing previously, when we go up higher the rank, up higher the category, what happens? It includes a group of the related organisms of the previous category, right? So class is again a group of the related orders. So for example, uh, just try to understand that we have order carnivora, which we already seen, where you have cats and dogs and etc. Similarly, we have order for the primates, so it is called as order Primata. So in Primata, we include monkeys, gorilla, gibbon. Okay, so these apes and including humans are also included in the primates, right? So in the order Primata, you have these organisms. So order Primata and Carnivora also have certain similarities, and because of these similarities, these order have been put together under the class Mammalia. Okay, तो आप इजीली इमेजिन कर सकते हो कि एक मंकी और एक डॉग के अंदर ज़्यादा सिमिलरिटीज़ हैं एज कंपेयर टू द सिमिलरिटीज़ बिटवीन अ डॉग एंड a snake or a dog and a lizard, right? So based on that, actually this class again has been uh, categorized. So लिजर्ड जैसे हमने देखा, लिजर्ड या स्नेक दे आर नथिंग बट रेप्टाइल्स एज यू ऑल नो. तो रेप्टाइल्स जो है वो एक अलग क्लास है. तो रेप्टाइल्स डॉग या कैट से उनके बीच डॉग्स एंड कैट्स एंड रेप्टाइल्स यानी लिजर्ड उसके बीच में सिमिलरिटीज़ रिलेटिवली बहुत कम है, इसलिए वो दोनों डिफरेंट क्लासेस में रखे गए हैं. लेकिन डॉग्स में और मंकीज़ में रिलेटिवली ज़्यादा सिमिलरिटीज़ हैं. रादर इवन डॉग्स एंड ह्यूमंस they have been friend for the time immemorial, right? So we have a very close relationship and bonding with the dogs. Many people uh, feel very joyful when they see their pets, and even the dogs can be pets, or even cats also are considered as pets. और आप लोगों ने शायद देखा होगा टेलीविज़न वगैरह में कभी दिखाते हैं कि इवन though it is very rare, but sometimes people have tried to domesticate even the big cats, which are these lions or tigers, right? So there are certain similarities among the primates and among these members of the order Carnivora. So they are related, that's why they have been put under the class of Mammalia. Similarly, if we see for the plants, as we have seen the mango plant, okay, so mango plant is a uh, is a member of the family Anacardiaceae, as it has been given in the table 1.1. Here you can see. So here there are several organisms like mine, housefly, mango, and wheat. So two members of the animal kingdom, which is mine and housefly, and two members of the plant kingdom. For them, all these categories have been given. So first their biological name, which includes the name of the genus and species. Then you have the genus, family, order and class, and finally phylum or the division. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 categories. Okay, so 2 here and these 5. So total 7 categories, obligate categories of the classification have been given in this table. So I urge you all students to note down this table into your notebook and memorize it. See, I think you all must be remembering and knowing already the name of the human, which is Homo sapiens, right? So Homo sapiens belong to the genus Homo, and the family which we belong to is the hominidae, and we all are a member of primata, including the monkeys, apes, which include gorilla, chimpanzee, gibbon. So then we belong to the class of Mammalia and phylum Chordata and kingdom of Animalia, right? Similarly, you can see the housefly. The name of the housefly is Musca domestica, and the genus is Musca. Species name is Domestica. So Musca domestica is a member of family Muscidae and order is Diptera. So Diptera is an order of the insects. Okay. So housefly belongs to order Diptera and the class is Insecta, and these Flies belong to the phylum Arthropoda. So Arthropoda includes actually several kinds of the insects. So let me tell you for your information here that Arthropoda has huge number of the members in this phylum, and it is a phylum of the animal kingdom. And Arthropoda has its members having the jointed legs. Arthros means joints and poda means legs or limbs. So Arthropoda has its members having the jointed legs or jointed appendages. Okay, so these honeybees, then ants, then wasp, and several kinds of the insects, including the Drosophila melanogaster, all of them are member of the Arthropoda. So Drosophila melanogaster is a fruit fly. It is not a house fly, and it is a very important organism. Fruit fly Drosophila melanogaster. You will study much detail about the Drosophila melanogaster in the context of the genetic studies in the next year in the portion of the genetics. Okay. So similarly, the mango has a scientific or botanical name of the Mangifera indica. So genus name is Mangifera, and it belongs to family Anacardiaceae. The order is Sapindales, and it belongs to the class of Cotyledone. And the division, so in case of the plants, instead of phylum we use the term division, so it's a member of the division Angiospermi. while wheat plant, गेहूं जिसको हम बोलते हैं, जो हम लोग जिसका आटा खाया जाता है, राइट. सो wheat has the name of Triticum aestivum, and it belongs to the genus Triticum. The family is Poaceae. पोटैटो की हमने कौन से फैमिली देखी थी? सोलानेसी. ओके, wheat की फैमिली है पोएसी, and the order is Poales, the class is Monocotyledone, and the division is Angiospermi. तो आपने यहाँ देखा कि मैंगो और वीट ये दोनों एंजियोस्पर्म्स की कैटेगरी में आते हैं, एंजियोस्पर्मी हैं. जिम्नोस्पर्म्स की कैटेगरी में क्या आते हैं? जो पाम वगैरह के प्लांट होते हैं, डेट पाम, they belong to the category of the gymnosperms. Okay, so you have to learn this table very carefully. This is a very important table from exam point of view, from the competitive point of view, and moreover if you remember this table, it will be very easy for you to understand many other related aspects also. Okay, so we were discussing the class. So we have seen that the mango belongs to the family Anacardiaceae, and it is a member of the order Sapindales. We already have seen that how the Solanaceae and family Convolvulaceae belong to the order of the Polymoniales. So Sapindales and Polymoniales, they have been categorized together under the class of Dicotyledone. Okay, so there are two classes in the plants, in the higher plants. So they are dicots and monocots, also called as dicotyledone or monocotyledone. So dicotyledone and monocotyledone, these two classes actually belong to the division of the angiospermi. Angiosperms are also called as flowering plants. Okay, so angiosperms are called as flowering plants, and they are the category at the rank of the division below the level of the kingdom. Okay, so the plants have been categorized as we will see eventually in the plant kingdom, कि जो बहुत ही प्रिमिटिव प्लांट्स हैं, प्रिमिटिव टाइप के प्लांट्स हैं, जिनके अंदर कोई टिश्यू का डिफरेंशिएशन नहीं होता है, वो सिर्फ ग्रीन होते हैं और एक बेसिक उनका स्ट्रक्चर होता है बॉडी का, लेकिन एक प्रॉपर डिफरेंशिएशन नहीं होता है, उनको ब्रायोफाइटा बोलते हैं. उसके बाद नेक्स्ट कैटेगरी होती है जिसको टेरिडोफाइटा बोलते हैं. टेरिडोफाइटा में थोड़ा सा डिफरेंशिएशन होता है, वेस्कुलर टिश्यू वगैरह होता है वाटर कंडक्शन के लिए. ठीक है, तो उनको टेरिडोफाइटा बोलते हैं. उसके नेक्स्ट लेवल की हायर कैटेगरी है जिसको बोलते हैं जिम्नोस्पर्म्स और जिम्नोस्पर्मी. और जिम्नोस्पर्मी के बाद जो सबसे हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ दी डिवीज़न है प्लांट किंगडम का, उसको बोलते हैं एंजियोस्पर्मी। एंजियोस्पर्मी फ्लावरिंग प्लांट्स को बोलते हैं। एंड ऑल द प्लांट्स विच बियर फ्लावर, they all are included in the division of the angiospermy. Okay, so I hope that this is now clear to you. So you all know by now that the plants also have the higher level of the categorization above the order, which is called as the class. So angiospermy has two classes, dicotyledony and monocotyledony. And the class Mammalia, we all mammals belong to the class Mammalia. So Mammalia is one class, Reptilia is another class. Okay, similarly the fishes are included in next class. So in this way, now we reach to the next rank or next level of the classification, which is the phylum. So phylum includes again a group of the related classes. Okay, so these fishes are included in the class Pisces. Okay, Pisces. So all the fishes, whether be it bony fishes or cartilaginous fishes, be it marine fishes or be it freshwater fishes, they are included under the class of the Pisces. Then all the birds are included under the class of aves, or some people call it aves. So they are nothing but the birds. Then you have the amphibia. Amphibia includes the frogs and salamander, etc. Then we have the class reptilia, and then finally we have the class mammalia, to the group which we belong. So all these classes again share various common features, and they all are a member of the phylum Chordata. Okay, so the phylum Chordata has different characteristics which are common. So what are the common characteristics of the chordates? They have the notochord present at some stage of their life. Okay, notochord क्या होता है? एक तरह का टिश्यू होता है जो जब एम्ब्रियो का डेवलपमेंट हो रहा होता है तो वहाँ पे वो ग्रो होता है. समटाइम्स it may persist throughout the life in certain group, certain kind of the organisms. In certain other kind of the organisms it may not persist throughout the life. In certain other kind of organisms it may get modified or differentiated into some other thing, like so all these classes actually follow the properties. They share certain common features, and they have been all put together under the chordates. So now from this information you can deduce that a member of amphibia like frog, another member of the class reptilia like a lizard, and another member of the mammalia. For example, if you take monkey, so monkey and lizard and frog, they have more characters which are common to each other as compared to any of these organisms having the commonality or similarity to the insects, because insects belong to the phylum Arthropoda. As we have already seen कि हाउस फ्लाई मस्का डोमेस्टिका किसका मेंबर है? फाइलम आर्थ्रोपोडा का. और मैमल्स रेप्टिलिया ये सब फाइलम कॉर्डेटा के मेंबर्स हैं. ठीक है, तो अगर दो क्लासेस या सेवरल क्लासेस जो सेम फाइलम के मेंबर हैं उनके बीच सिमिलैरिटीज़ ज़्यादा होगी. बट अगर दो क्लासेस ऐसे हैं कि एक क्लास एक फाइलम से बिलोंग करता है, दूसरा क्लास दूसरे फाइलम से बिलोंग करता है, तो उनके बीच सिमिलैरिटीज़ और कम होंगी और डिसिमिलैरिटीज़ ज़्यादा होंगी. राइट. तो इन केस ऑफ द एनिमल्स यूजुअली वी यूज़ द टर्म फाइलम for this rank or for this level of the category. However, for the plants another term called division is used. तो फाइलम और डिवीज़न एक दूसरे से सिमिलर चीज़ है, इक्वलेंट चीज़ है. हम एनिमल्स के केस में फाइलम बोलते हैं और प्लांट्स के केस में डिवीज़न बोला जाता है. तो एज वी हैड सीन अर्लियर कि डाइकोटिलिडनी और मोनोकोटिलिडनी, हमने ये दो क्लासेस देखे थे. ठीक, डाइकॉट भी इसको शॉर्ट में बोलते हैं, इसको मोनोकॉट बोलते हैं. तो डाइकोटिलिडनी का मेंबर हमने देखा कि मैंगो, पोटैटो ये सब डाइकोटिलेडनी का मेंबर था। मोनोकोटिलेडनी का मेंबर लेट मी टेल यू, वीट, राइस, मेज, गेहूँ, चावल और ये मक्का, ये प्लांट्स जो हैं ये मोनोकॉट के मेंबर्स हैं। ठीक है, इसके बारे में मोनोकॉट और डाइकॉट के बारे में जो मॉर्फोलॉजिकल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होती हैं या इनके क्या प्रॉपर्टीज़ हैं, क्या फीचर्स है, ये हम थोड़ा मॉर्फोलॉजी का जब चैप्टर पढ़ेंगे तो उसमें हम इसको अप्रिशिएट करेंगे, हम इसको डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे कि किस किस तरह के अरेंजमेंट होते हैं, क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर्स, क्या प्रॉपर्टीज़ होते हैं जो डाइकॉट्स एंड मोनोकॉट्स में सिमिलर होते हैं या डिसिमिलर होते हैं। ठीक है, तो ये हम और डिटेल में आने वाले चैप्टर्स में पढ़ेंगे। अभी आप इतना समझ लीजिए कि डाइकॉट्स एक अलग ग्रुप है, मोनोकॉट्स एक अलग ग्रुप है, और ये दोनों डाइकॉट एंड मोनोकॉट ये दे कॉन्स्टिट्यूट द कैटेगरी ऑफ द क्लास, एंड बोथ these class are included into a common phylum, नहीं phylum नहीं बोलेंगे, into a common division which is the division of angiospermy. Okay, so division angiospermy includes dicotyledony and monocotyledony. Similarly, we have other divisions like, in addition to the angiospermy, we have gymnospermy, we have pteridophyta, we have bryophyta. These divisions also exist. Okay, which we will see also later on in other chapters. तो अभी तक आपने देखा फाइलम का कैटेगरी लेवल का कैटेगराइजेशन. नाउ द नेक्स्ट हायर लेवल and actually the highest category in the obligate classification of the 7 categories is the kingdom. So it is the highest category in the classification. Okay, so based on very broad or very common characteristic features, all the animals have been divided into uh, several kingdoms. Rather, all the organisms have been divided into several kingdoms. In the very early days, people had classified all the existing organisms only into the two kingdoms, which is plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Okay, but when the microscopic organisms were discovered, it was found that there are many organisms which do not strictly adhere to the characteristics of these categories. कुछ ऐसे हैं जिनको आप एनिमल्स में रखना डिफ़िकल्ट है, कुछ ऐसे हैं जिनको प्लांट्स में रखना डिफ़िकल्ट है, एनिमल्स में भी रखना डिफ़िकल्ट है. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल लेट मी टेल यू, प्लांट्स को जब कैटेगराइज किया गया तो प्लांट्स कैसे डिसाइड किया, जो एक बेसिक जो प्रॉपर्टी रखी गई कि क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक या क्या फीचर ऐसा होना चाहिए जिसकी बेसिस पे वी कैन कीप द ऑर्गेनिज्म इनटू द किंगडम प्लांटी और प्लांट किंगडम. सो इट वाज डिसाइडेड दैट all the organisms which have the capability to do photosynthesis, right, all the organisms which have the capability to do photosynthesis so that they can produce their own food using the sunlight, let them be put all in the plant kingdom. So then it was seen that all such plants, including the higher plants, lower plants, etc., even the algae, they have chloroplasts. If you study their cellular structure, they all having this organelle. Then they also have a thick cell wall around the cell. But in case of the animals, the animal cell does not have the chloroplast and it lacks cell wall also. But what happened eventually, when more detailed studies were conducted in these other kind of the organisms, including certain microorganisms, what was found that certain organisms were found which cannot do photosynthesis, but they still have the cell wall. Okay, तो photosynthesis नहीं कर रहे हैं इसका मतलब they should belong to animal, but animals don't have cell wall, and these organisms have the cell wall, so now they should be put into the plant. But now you see that you are not able to successfully put them in the either in the kingdom plant or in the kingdom animal. So they were categorized into a third kingdom which is called as kingdom fungi. Okay, तो इस तरह से 3 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन दिया गया। इवेंचुअली फिर 4 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन दिया गया, फिर 5 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन दिया गया। तो मोस्ट एक्सेप्टेड क्लासिफिकेशन जो है वो 5 किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन है, जो हम नेक्स्ट चैप्टर में बाद में हम बायोलॉजिकल क्लासिफिकेशन वाले चैप्टर में और डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे। सो नाउ यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट दीज फाइलम और डिवीज़न कैन बी grouped based on certain features, certain properties of these organisms into different kingdoms. Initially there were only 2 kingdoms given by the experts, but now R.H. Whitaker had given 5 kingdom classification, which is the most accepted system, and all the animals are included in under the kingdom Animalia. Plants have kingdom Plantae, and these fungus are included in the kingdom Fungi, and other organisms are included in 2 additional kingdoms, which we will study in the next chapter. Okay, so in addition to these 7 taxonomical categories or taxonomic hierarchies, various subcategories or supercategories also have been devised. As I had told you earlier that not only classes but certain superclasses also have been devised. Okay, our family, one family has been divided into 2 subfamilies, and those 2 subfamilies have been further divided into several genuses. So in this way, certain subcategories or certain supercategories can be devised, and they facilitate the study and classification and their arrangement into a proper systematic manner. So as from our discussion you would have noticed that as we go up from the species to the kingdom in the hierarchy, तो सबसे पहले क्या मिलता है आपको? स्पीशीज़ मिलता है। थोड़ा सा और ऊपर जाएंगे आप, नेक्स्ट रैंक जो है इस हायरार्की में आपको जीनस मिलता है, उसके बाद फैमिली, फिर ऑर्डर, फिर क्लास, और उसके बाद फाइलम या डिवीज़न बोलते हैं, और नेक्स्ट जो सबसे हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ द कैटेगरी है दैट इज़ द किंगडम, राइट। So as we go up from the species to the kingdom, what happens that number of the common characteristics decreases, right? दो organisms जो same species के member हैं, they will have huge number of similarities as compared to the 2 species which are not a member of the same genus. So 2 members of a kingdom, but if they belong to different phylum, if they belong to different classes, they will have the decreasing or increasing level of the similarities and dissimilarities following this pattern of the hierarchy. Okay, तो अब ये पैटर्न और ये हायरार्की का आपको नॉलेज हो गया। इसके बाद इफ़ यू आर गिवन एनी ऑर्गेनिज्म and if you are told these hierarchies, these taxonomic categories about that organism, that okay, this is a wheat and this has the genus Triticum and it belongs to family Poaceae, its order is Poales and it belongs to the class of monocots and it's a member of the Angiospermi division, right? So if you are told all these detail about the taxonomic categories, and if you have another plant or another organism for which you are given again the information about these taxonomic categories, then based on these taxonomic categories, directly being a student of science and having studied this chapter of the living world and the diversity of the organisms, now you can appreciate and you can infer any information about a broad information about how much similarities or differences these organisms will be having, right? तो आप वो ब्रांचिंग डिड्यूस कर सकते हो कि एक ऑर्गेनिज्म, मान लीजिए आपके पास 3 ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं जिसमें से 2 ऑर्गेनिजम्स शेयर द सेम ऑर्डर, and third organism does not share the same order, it is having different order. तो उसकी बेसिस पे आप ये बता सकते हो कि those two organisms which are sharing the same order, they will have many more characteristics common as compared to the third organism which belongs to a different order, right? So however, when we go up higher in the taxonomic ranking, determining the relationship to different taxa, to different categories becomes cumbersome, because at the lower level of the taxonomic categories, you can make these comparisons between these characteristics and features in a more systematic way. You can do direct comparison. For example, if I ask you to compare a dog with a cat, you can list so many characteristics and you can compare. But if I ask you to compare a dog with a lizard, then you will be scratching your head that okay, now how should I compare, right? So it will be a little bit difficult. So when you have to compare the similarities, and also you have to see the differences and the extent of the differences. Okay, so for example, the difference between a dog and a lizard, and the difference between a dog and lizard and ant or a wasp. So if I ask you to uh, note down the differences and similarities between the characteristics of these three species of the ants, चींटियों के बीच में, डॉग यानी कुत्ता, और लिजर्ड यानी छिपकली, तो आपको ज़्यादा डिफ़िकल्टी होगी वहाँ पे सिमिलरिटीज़ या डिफरेंसेस को की बेसिस पे उनको कैटेगराइज करने में. लेकिन अगर मैं आपको डॉग और कैट के बारे में कहूँ, तो you can note down several characteristics, right? See, I am not saying at all that it is not possible to note down the differences and the similarities. What all I am saying is that it becomes a little bit more difficult. Okay, so that is why as we go up higher in the taxonomic category, the process or the work of the classification becomes a little bit more difficult. And then you need very systematic approaches, but however it is doable and scientists do it using certain rules, certain frameworks, and it is done in a very systematic, in a very proper manner, and all the organisms are categorized and classified and put together in these different categories and ranks. So now, till now we have discussed about the taxonomic hierarchies and categories. Now in the next lecture tomorrow, we will discuss about taxonomic aids. What is the usefulness of the taxonomic aids, why they are needed, and uh, and how do they help to study the living organisms and the diversity. All these things we will be discussing in the next lecture. Don't forget to make your notes and remember the important points. I also urge you all, my dear students, to keep revising the previous lectures. Just have a relook and recap on your previous notes, because if you keep forgetting whatever we have learned till now, eventually at some stage you may miss the link and you may feel a little bit more difficulty. But if you keep on revising regularly, the things will become very easy for you. And if you keep understanding whatever we are discussing, actually the subject will become more and more interesting as we go from one chapter to the next. So this is the beauty of biology, that if you miss a link, then things become sort of difficult and you get panic that how I will remember it, how I will learn it. But if you study the things in a proper systematic way, in a connected fashion, then you can relate the things and it becomes beautiful to you. You are able to appreciate it, and then you are able to gain maximum out of it. And if you develop, if you maintain and develop the interest in the subject, what will happen, that learning the subject will become very easy for you. And if it becomes very easy for you, you already know that you will score very good marks in your board examination, and you will be able to crack the tough examination of the NEET as well, if you remain focused right from the beginning, right from the now. So keep yourself motivated, keep noting the important points, keep learning, keep revising. Okay. Okay, so now we will stop here. Thank you. Bye bye.